All right. I should have stole hobbyists intro or sponsor setup. Oh,
Yeah,
I got some
you
back
got
feed. Hold on.
you got something open.
There we go. That should be better. Yeah, I don't know if anybody saw it. Hobbyist, we did a couple sponsorship spots, help out hobbyist, and it looks awesome. I mean, his little intro for us, he did a bang up job with. I'm super impressed. So shout
Very
out to
professional.
him. Yeah, very nice. Appreciate that hobbyist. I mean, that was awesome looking intro. Trying to get a handle of this StreamYard. We're only on here once or twice a month, so every time we do a live stream, I have to like reteach myself how to do this crap.
Right?
But we're getting there. I could throw up banners. I always forget. I gotta get the banners going. Coastal crypto mining.
Whoa, damn. Right. Professionals here. Professionals.
Yeah.
That's why everybody likes the videos more than they do like the live stream.
Yeah, I mean, we try to break it up for everybody so they can keep, catch the highlights. But the streams and the highlights aren't any fun unless you guys show up for the live streams and we can talk and, get us ranting about some random bullshit or conspiracy theory or what we're doing.
Yeah, right.
Our explanation. We have a set guideline, but it is open to suggestions and questions. And Discord is always open if anybody wants to jump in over there. And you can't, jump in on the comments here. You can always join the conversation over on Discord as well. We can bring you onto the show through Discord or through StreamYard if you want to join the conversation and you're up for it. We're also live on Twitter and we're live on Odyssey at the same time. So hopefully you can catch us in multiple areas.
Did you see that their Twitter's implementing a subscribe service so like they can start paying content creators?
That'd be awesome.
So it's on its way.
Go Elon.
Actually, I did want to talk about this briefly. So just so like it's clear, like LBC didn't win, right? They did a huge solid for crypto, but they didn't win their case. Like they're still being imposed and possibly a huge fine for everything because the SEC, doesn't play by their own rules. But we made a decision a little over a month ago, I think, at this point, to start mining LBC. We've accumulated a nice bag. We're utilizing the platform and which is Odyssey, and we are, I don't know, but we're just stacking at this point, right? But I think we made a good decision when we did it. The solid that they did is basically made it that crypto is not a security for now. So and that's a great. I don't know, John, help me out here.
So it all comes down to how the government wants to be taxed, right? And the government wants, they got their hands out too. They're seeking to control it. And when a government entity loses control, everybody starts to panic. LBC, we've seen others that have kind of gotten the scrutiny from the SEC as well. When you start talking security, you're definitely, you're bringing up the whole nother conversation, a whole nother list of rules, regulations, and taxes and tax implications with an asset. A security asset is viewed very differently than, say, a commodity, which is what kind of Bitcoin is classified under right now. So there isn't, you still get your short-term capital gains, and we're getting taxed on every transaction with Bitcoin. But when you encroach upon, the sandbox that SEC plays in with a security, then they get upset because you're taking away their Tonka toy kind of situation here, and they don't like that. They're the greedy kid or the stubborn, spoiled kid in the corner playing with the the nicest Tonka toy or whatever in the sandbox. Here comes LBC, and they want to play too, and everybody's more interested in what they got going on because LBC is sharing. So it's all a political game in a money grab situation with the SEC, not LBC. I think LBC is on the right track. I think they had some issues with their wording in some of their contracts, and they're getting hit pretty hard for just not crossing their T's and dotting their I's. So it's, like I said, it's all a money grab. It's all the SEC trying to gain back some set of control, and they're making up laws as they go along to try to enforce control.
Yeah. You did that way better than I did.
I wish we can get my cousin on here at some point in time. The guy's super genius when it comes to this kind of stuff. I just actually had a conversation with him earlier today, but he watches the market, he reads the news, and he's in these deep dive circles, and he's not a prepper per se, but he doesn't trust the government, but he sees what they're. Just an interesting guy to talk to because he's very on point, and a lot of the things that he talks about and the things that he feels relates to both the woke market, being the SEC, the U.S. stock exchange, things of that nature, the government, how they deploy their regulations, and he's trying to pick up the forest to the trees kind of scenario with what's going on with crypto. As soon as a government entity, no matter who it is, starts losing control, regulations start popping up, wars start popping up, and things like that. So, but maybe some point in time we can get him on to rant, because he rants far worse than we do. But, let's see. What did I'm trying to pull up my notes here.
Yeah.
So prepared.
I have the agenda thing that we wanted to cover up in front of me. I think just kind of bouncing around, maybe just do like the smaller updates and then save CCM for last. Okay. I mean, there's still not really a huge update for that either, but because things are still in the works. The smallest update itself is just progress of the mine expansion. We are still working on just basically, John said it earlier, dotting our I's, crossing our T's. That's still what we're kind of doing. So as we get the information finalized, we can go in and disclose and do videos and, show everything off. But for the time being, again, we're still just, we're in limbo, trying to finalize everything. It's, things don't happen overnight. So just keep in tune.
We could talk a little bit. I mean, you've been messing with this for a couple days now, almost 2 weeks now, right?
What's that?
The Flux node.
Man,
let me bring up the screenshot just because I have it up right now, and it makes it. Let me see if I could present. Share screen.
Yeah, yes, it is. It benchmarks. It's confirmed. It's connected. So yeah, we did get a Flux M4 node, so we can set up a Cumulus node on the Flux network. I wanted to see what it would be like getting it up and running. Sensecap, they express that this is truly plug and play. For the most part, there are pictures in the mining review if you want to pull them up so people can see what the
Sure.
actual miner looks like. On the Sensecap side, this device is really plug and play. So it's just a matter of going through the steps on their app and getting it up and running. Now, on everything else, it is not. So, and it all has to do with Flux and their requirements. So when, before I got this, I was on a router that's pretty ancient and comparable to new tech standards today. It's just an Airport Extreme. So when they were released, they were top of the line at the time for Apple, at least. And they work fine, connected all my devices and things like that. But for Flux and their Node, it's not a router that is UPnP friendly, universal plug and play. And
well, you plugged it in and it turned on, right?
yeah, yes. But when it comes to like network connectivity and things like that, it is not. It's not set up for UPnP. The router that I had, so I had to get a new router. So eventually, this device cost me a little bit more than just the device itself, which I bought directly from sensecap. They still have them. They're doing batch orders and things like that. We are not going to list them. It's just not worth our time, I don't think, in listing them at all. But going to them. So the device itself, it's very clean, small, compact, connecting to it via Bluetooth to start setting everything up. Very simple. The app itself, I've been using the app with the Helium network because all of our Helium devices are sensecap. And again, the device itself, sensecap, they made a plug and play thing. There are some issues on the Flux side where network capability or connectivity, I should say, network connectivity, and just getting the Flux node up and running in itself. This drives me nuts. Like sensecap could probably make this thing cheaper for everybody if they didn't provide all of these stupid plugs. Like just literally put a drop down in the order form as to your region, right? Each region has their own little thing, so that they just gave you this universal plug, and you got to click in which one is formatted for you. So now I have a bunch of spare plugs, so I guess I could take this, to Europe and plug it in, and then, which I don't know why I would do that. Yeah, I'm just gonna walk around, the world at this point, or fly around the world, and I'm gonna just plug my node in wherever. Either way, one thing that I would say with this device is it comes with a little pamphlet. I would read through it thoroughly. I just plug things in and try to boot them up. So I had trouble initially because I don't like to read instructions. You have to put everything. Yeah, you have to put everything in the port 2, which is for the Ethernet. Not port 1. Port 2 is the one right next to the HDMI connector. So just a note for that. There are videos out there like Mototech and things like that, and other YouTubers that will go through a full walkthrough on how to set this thing up. And again, it takes a couple minutes in the app until you get to the Flux side of things. Hopefully check to see if your router is UPnP compatible, because you are going to need that. If it's not, you need a new router. So just keep that in mind. And then on the network side of Flux, you have to have ports open. Like I don't have any other nodes connected anywhere where I have this set up. And typically, if you have more than one node, you have to start looking at port forwarding. I think this may be just like a sensecap thing to where you just need to set up port forwarding regardless. So looking into doing the port forwarding, you're more than likely going to have to do that network side with your router and getting it all set up. And then another keynote is, so I kept seeing these posts when people are setting up their Flux node, like, hey, you need to transfer 1,000 Flux to yourself in order to set this up. And I was kind of overthinking that. Like, how do you transfer 1,000 Flux from a wallet that you have to a wallet to the same wallet? Like, I was overthinking a little bit. And in Zelcore, when you're doing this, like you just basically do it from like you set up one wallet, and which would be like payments or whatever. They start you off with like a whole bunch of tiers of different wallets, but you can set up like a separate one, put it into, transfer it from one of that to another one, the system will see that you did 1,000 flux even. The flux node system will, and then you'll be able to start linking things together to put the information into the app. It's hard to explain when I'm just talking about it, but or like visualize, I guess, hard to visualize, but it is. Again, go watch like videos like Mototech, things like that, because I'm not going to go through the whole walkthrough. It's just it's tedious. And these guys did a perfect example in getting it up and running. And if you watch Mototech's video, he has the same issue that I have at the very end of the video. He just doesn't go into it. You see the error, but he doesn't go into it. So he's just showing you how to do step by step through the app to get it up and running. And he does the basic stuff. So at that point, once you get to where he finishes his video, it's all network issues at that point, getting connected to the Flux OS network. And if you guys end up getting a device like this and you have trouble, like we always say, we're here to help. So just reach out. I've done it. We're connected. We have not gotten any rewards from it yet because I literally got it connected last night. I text John. I'm like, it's connected. Like literally been working on it forever, and it's been so annoying.
So it's not plug and play, is what you're saying.
The device is plug and play. Flux is not plug and play. So that's just keep in mind. So people getting frustrated because I'm in sensecap's Discord and people are trying to troubleshoot this along. I was one of them posting like, dude, I'm connected. I have ports open. Why the fuck isn't it connecting? So on and so forth. Yeah, the device itself is very plug and play. You turn it on, connect the app, go through their steps, good to go. You don't have to mess with the sensecap anymore. It's all Flux at that point. And then it's making sure your router's right, making sure you have your ports opening. Yeah. And you start the node in Flux and then, just rolling through. There's just a lot of things on the Flux side that we've already complained about this in previous streams. Like, they give you something that they're, some use case that they're doing, right? Whether it be Web3 hosting for websites or whatever else they're doing, they're hosting other nodes and things like that. It's Flux is not appealing to the people that need things a little bit more user friendly. I'm okay tech wise, right? But I'm not, once I start having trouble, I lean more on John than I do anything else. So
that's scary.
But yeah, because I'm not a network guy. I don't like it. Flux needs to streamline the node process a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not an IT guy. I pick up things along the way. Our biggest headache in terms of nodes over at the farm is we have a Dell PowerEdge server that's got an issue with the iDRAC system that I've been fighting since we got it. We would like to do, because this server is supposed to be our portal for all of our monitoring systems, hosting, and eventually multiple nodes for multiple cryptos, Bitcoin, Litecoin, so on. Flux, whatever we want to do. It's just supposed to make it that much available for us. So I don't know. It's I'm learning. I still got to reach out and get my help, just like Mark does. That's what we're all here about. We're all here to help each other, which kind of segues into kind of the topic of discussion, or our title for this stream. And something that Mark and I have been discussing and going back and forth on, and I think we're in some kind of agreement. We're here to help, and we're not looking for any return. I guess let us know when it comes. We're doing what we can to help hobbyists. So a couple other YouTubers that are out there, I know some of them have been buying equipment from us, and we've been helping them troubleshoot equipment that they've got from other vendors. We're not looking for anything in return. We're doing our best to help. So if you guys have questions, you have concerns, this is the time, to reach out, not just to us, but to the community that we're trying to build. Whether it just be some simple fan housings, or you got issues with other stuff, more in-depth technical support. We're trying to help.
Yeah, we're definitely here for like the little guy, but we are also growing, so it's like a give or take type thing.
Yep.
Um,
We do have a poll going right now, and this is kind of
Yeah.
what started up this live stream today. And we'll talk about it. We'll bring it up again later on. Hopefully, some more people will join in the conversation in the live stream. We were actually contacted by Zeus Mining. Zeus, has been huge in the ASIC repair side of things. They offer some equipment, but mainly it's repair stuff. Whether they're repairing it for you or they're selling, proprietary repair kits for specific equipment. So they reached out to us asking if we wanted to work with them as a direct supplier, as kind of like a partnership. So they're a bit of a bigger company. They've been around for over 7 years. They've got a decent reputation in terms of doing the right thing when it comes to repairs. We're not so crazy about some of their pricing, but that's we're not looking to make anything huge when it comes to our partnerships. It's just more about helping the community. So we asked you guys, do you see a benefit, or would you like to see Coastal Crypto partner with Zeus Mining? Should we work with them and bring some of their products to our website, into our space? That would look like, us doing reviews and testing some of their equipment as it comes in, doing our best to get the prices lower for you guys in terms of their equipment, or in terms of their, control boards that they offer, or control board kits. They offer a lot of different services and advantages to working with them. But of course, we're very open and transparent about the way we run our company, and we want your feedback. So if you haven't voted yet, it is anonymous, of course. It is YouTube poll. Go jump over to the poll. Let us know your thoughts. We're going to leave it up for a couple days, maybe a week or so, as we talk to them about what they're offering. And, we'll take what they say into consideration and what you guys say into consideration, and we'll make a decision that we feel is best for Coastal Crypto, and we'll share it with you guys when we do.
Yeah, I mean, if you are voting, the voting is anonymous, but if you did want to chime in a little bit and make a comment, and tell us why or why not we should partner or not partner with Zeus, that would be beneficial on our end. You can also still do that anonymous to the group if you wanted to, and just shoot us a DM on Twitter and give that explanation. We'll hold that information away from prying eyes, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean,
Whatever.
do you have experience with them? Have you ordered from them? Have you talked to their customer service? We are huge on customer service. I mean, Mark and I are on call 24/7 on Twitter and Discord to help out wherever we can, with products that we don't even sell, with just people having issues with equipment that they got from other vendors. We're here to help.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're curious to know your feedback. If you've done any business with them, let us know.
I mean, we have been being in running for the last couple of years as a company. We have done direct business with them for parts and no, not equipment, but just parts. We haven't had a bad experience yet, but again, we're leaving it up to you guys to see what you guys think, or if you've had any bad experiences or not.
Yeah, they treat us not as a customer, but as a company. So they may treat their customer service a little differently than they have treated us. When they invoice us, so we, are talking to them, we're talking to them as Coastal Crypto, and that's how they see us on their invoicing and in their spreadsheets. So they may handle us differently than they would handle, say, John Doe off the street with a busted S19.
Yeah. Or, some boards that are not really Bitmain boards. Not pointing fingers anywhere.
So I'm going through the miner review. We had just where I got the Discord up. I thought we were going to wait on showing this off.
Well, I only put it in the community, so you don't have to put it out here if you don't want to. I just put it in the community.
Most of the people that are here are in the community anyway, so they've already seen it.
Sorry.
So Mark posted this over on Discord. This is something that we're working on. We noticed that the fans for a lot of these mini box miners just weren't adequate in terms of pushing the air away from the machines. The machines are so small that what's happening is you're getting cavitation and it's pulling the hot air back into the front of the machine. It's not getting the hot air away from the machines themselves, unless you're doing like a designated hot aisle, and nobody's doing that for these small little baby machines, right?
Yeah.
So, I had to dust off some of my CAD skills. Again, very dusty, still a work in progress, but we've been working on a 1, 2, and 3 mini box miner fan housing to support a 120 millimeter fan. So these are just prototypes. We are still working on them to make them a little bit more sturdier and to take specific fans. But let me go ahead and share that.
Yeah, so you can show them off.
Yeah.
It looks sick. Like, I can't express like how awesome they look.
So the fan fits inside or outside. The gold shell mini box miners are all roughly the same size, and the way I tried to design it is they lock into place when they're side by side. They lock themselves in to this housing with very little air gaps between them. Again, the process of where that we're printing these is going to also affect that. The miners themselves are going to affect that. These ones are bare cases. Mark has all the prototypes that I've made coming to him because we don't know how they're going to fit with powder coated or some of these custom mini ones from DOGE or whatever that is. So Mark's going to test them in a number of different varieties and setups before we release them to you guys.
And obviously Gold Shell has came out with the 2 series of this, right? So at some point we'll have to get some measurements on those. And if this works out how I'm thinking, at the end of the day, it's going to make the machine a little bit more efficient. So like John was saying earlier, so we have a couple of these box miners. And again, we are not advocates of the box miners. Box miners, honestly, at some point are just going to become paperweights. But we know the community has them. So we're like testing things out, just trying to figure out. We got our feet wet with LBC with just one of their box miners, things like that. So we just had, and we've acquired, I think at least one of them within a trade. So it was just a trade thing. And it's not like we proactively went out and got it for the exception of the LBC miner. And what I noticed, and so I've been tinkering with them, just trying to figure out, because I see on social media a lot of people complaining about some of them are heat stroked. The efficiency drops a little bit. They have issues with the machine not staying hashing, which sometimes can be a glitch or it can still be the heat. So I started messing with the fan and fan speeds. I posted some pictures on it in our Discord. I think one of the pictures actually is in the miner review where I show the 3. Right there. So the regular fans, I boosted up the RPMs inside them before I put this fan behind it, and they started to show as they cooled. the fans started to show a little bit more efficiency because all the fans are pushing the heat across the board and not sucking it away. And so I wanted to keep the fans as they were, so we're not affecting the machine at all. It's just doing what it needs to do and reads the fans correctly. And I wanted to put something on the back end so I could suck air, a 6,000 RPM fan, or at minimum, because a lot of these people have these in their house. I want to do like maybe a Noctua 3000 fan and suck the air out as much as I can without tripping up the fans. And so I'm going to test it first with a 6,000 RPM fan, similar to how the setup is that you're seeing right now, and see where the point is to trip up the fans. So I'll put a manual speed dial on there or fan controller to bring up and down the fan speed. And then I'm thinking that a 3,000 RPM fan will be the best result, probably, just because the fans in front of the machine that are pushing the air through the actual machine, they're not that much. I mean, maybe 1,500 at best. And it's clearly not enough for these miners from what I'm seeing. So
the tricky thing that we're trying to work out with these, and if you guys have played with ASICs before and you've overspun fans or you've hooked up alternative fans to the control boards, they are sensitive to how fast these fans are spinning.
Yeah.
So if we have too much force pulling air through the machines, over spinning the stock fans, we can also get an error. So it's all about finding that right area of pulling just enough air through the machines to increase efficiency without overspinning and tripping the sensors on the mini miners. So we were doing some testing. I did my best in CAD to do some fluid dynamics, and so we can get these, we know what we can pull through them and without overspinning them. And we're taking educated guesses on the box mini fans. We know that the 120 6,000 RPM fans on most ASICs are right around 264 272 CFMs. So that's a lot of force, and you're creating a pretty big vacuum pulling through these fans. Some of the older ASICs, you could turn with like Hive or Brains, you can turn off the fan disable. So you can pull as much air through them and overspin these fans with no issues. These smaller ones with Gold Shell, we haven't found a setting to turn off fans or turn off the sensors for the overspinning of the fans. So it creates a charge that goes back to the control board. Instead of having power being pushed to the fans, the power goes the opposite way. So we have to make sure it's a tricky, tightrope we have to walk. But we're hoping that everything works out once Mark is actually able to push these and slowly turn up a speed dial, and then we'll have a finalized product for you guys, hopefully on our site, that'll include probably like a Noctua fan, and one of these shrouds for 1, 2, and 3 miner setups. But that's the plan. I mean, that's kind of the R&D that we're doing in the midst of everything else we're doing.
Yeah, a little side project.
Yeah.
Gandalf goes, dude, you guys are killing me with the live stream time today. Can't interact while I'm at work. Sorry, dude.
We can't make. I mean, we do our best. If we do it late at night, we miss some people. If we do it in the afternoon, we miss others. So we were trying to we alternate back and forth. The next live stream will probably be a late night one. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to find the right times right now, dude. And so, feedback is noted. But yeah, no, I thought this would be a fun little project. We showed that we recently got a 3D printer, so we wanted to put it to work right away. And John literally has had this thing running since he set it up. So we're probably gonna have to get another 3D printer at some point. Tip too, like for 3D printers, if you guys are like trying to get into creating your own little things and things like that, I reached out to Crypto Cloaks, And I asked them, I wanted their advice because I don't know nothing about 3D printers. And I was like, what's a good starter, someone that just wants to learn and play with it, right? And he told us, or they told us that to use, or not use, to get the Ender 3V2. He said it's a very good 3D printer to start off with. And they actually use this printer too in their setup. They actually have a whole freaking wall full of them. So when searching around just to try to find a good deal, eBay seems to be a really great place for all the miscellaneous stuff. It's never a great place for buying like miners and equipment because they're usually what they dictate what the market really is, right? If I can get it on eBay for this, I'm trying to find it less than that. But for like everything else, it's crazy. They're super good deals out there, refurbished, things like that. The Ender 3 V2 goes for like $280, almost $300 on like Amazon or something like that if you want a brand new. And we literally got it for, I think, a little bit more than half that on eBay through a refurbished vendor. So, and we may have lucked out too with that, but the machine, it's running great.
Yeah, I mean I mean, right out of the box it ran.
Yeah.
No major issues. I did make some upgrades to the machine just because one of the biggest issues that Creality has, from my research, is the bed itself and how it levels. It uses really inadequate springs, and it's an aluminum base plate, so it tends to warp. So we upgraded the springs, and I went with an auto leveling Creality Touch, it's called. So we're bypassing the Z-axis and going straight to this Creality Touch, so I don't have to worry about the warpage in the plate. And it was maybe $30, $40 worth of parts on Amazon for upgraded springs and the Creality Touch. That's literally plug and play. And it was, turned this machine into a whole nother animal. And it was, like I said, it hasn't turned off. It's been awesome. But yeah, I'm already looking at bigger ones.
Yeah. See, there we go. But as I was saying too, like though, eBay seems to be like, we've put on social media like, hey, hopefully you guys are accumulating right now. Don't FOMO into the bull market, things like that. That's more than just ASIC machines or coins or tokens. That's like, dude, now's the time to buy the PDUs that you're gonna need for your setup. Now's the time to buy, if you're still doing open frame sets for your GPUs, motherboards, like literally buy all the motherboards you can at this point. Now, I'm not saying this is not financial advice or computer advice or PC, whatever the fuck you want to say it. It's not that. But I'm saying what I am saying is like it all the random things that really affect the overall price of whatever you're building. Think about it now and go out and find those. And I am telling you right now, eBay has some stellar deals on just all that miscellaneous crap. Like I'm so tempted right now to just buy 30 amp, 50 amp PDUs in bulk loads if we can find them. Like it is just, we have a few laying around the mine right now, but yeah, this is definitely our advice. Yeah, I know. It is, but it isn't. I'm just saying, this is what I'm thinking about, right? This is what I'm thinking. Like, okay, it's time to like it's good that you're accumulating machines or tokens or coins or things like that, but you got to think about this part too, because come the bull market and you're like starting to plug shit in, you're like, oh man, I'm out of power. Oh man, I need another PDU. Like, oh man, like in there, those prices are gonna skyrocket. And be like, dude, I could have got this in the bear market for like $100. Now it's $500. It's now's the time. I mean, machines, great. Obviously, we are a reseller. Aaron depends on people trying to buy machines from us, right? So obviously he doesn't want to hear what I'm saying right now because he wants people to continue focusing on machines. But yes, like think about all the random things that ticked you off during the bull market that you're like, oh man, I gotta go buy like USB sticks. Like you could buy boxes of those for like $20 now at this point. Like it's just there's all yeah.
SSDs. I mean,
I am literally ranting at this point because I just
well, to get back to Mark's way back when we first started talking about the box minis, the evolution of these machines. What I see, I know a lot of guys have them. I know they're popular. They're gonna go the route, and I think they're going to be utilized as lottery machines very soon. Like we're seeing with the future bits or the Mars landers or
an S9.
the S9, the little grid seeds. I mean, I've seen. I mean, I've been in crypto space since 2009, so I've seen so many iterations of ASICs. There used to be a device. It was a grid seed machine, I believe, that literally it was a tiny little 80 millimeter fan, and it had one ASIC chip on it, and it mined, or two ASIC chips, and it mined Litecoin and Dogecoin. It was one of the first, script miners out there for ASIC, and I remember selling them at the last bull run we had because they were collecting dust for me, but I should have held on to them. It could have gone into the Coastal Crypto Museum.
I saved one. I saved one of the USB miners for our Coastal Crypto Museum. So I have one. Here we go.
I have. Let me see if I can pull them up on my desk here. So I do have these left. These are the Yellow Jackets from. I don't even know who it is, but they're little Bitcoin. I don't know if I can. Without there.
Yeah, there you go. So. Yeah, put it right in front of your face.
So, there's no heat sinks on it. There's nothing.
Yeah.
But that's what's going to happen. Those little mini ASICs are going to turn into these things, and it's going to keep progressing that way for a while. Sorry, I know we're ranting again.
Yeah. So when y'all selling PDUs, Aaron needs another option. So fun fact, we can get our hands on PDUs. We have a supplier that does the Chinese made ones. We have a good handful of them at the mine right now. Brand new. What are they? 125 amp.
Yep.
Is the ones that we have, but they can make anything. So just let us know what you're looking for. And, if you want it brand new, we can ask them to make it for us. I still think eBay is probably going to be the best bet right now for, PDUs. I mean, honestly, we probably could just pull the trigger and buy a handful and then here, Aaron, try to resell these. But that's not in the best interest of you guys. I'd rather just direct you to eBay. Yeah. So, but we are here to help.
PDUs are tough. It's not like you're dealing with an ADP or you're dealing with some of these smart PDUs. Those though, I mean, a smart PDU for a 200 amp or 125 amp PDU that has Ethernet connection where you can control the ports, you're talking like $1,800, $2,000 for some of these PDUs. We went on an alternative route because a lot of our stuff is already, like we said, we're trying to set up a network and server infrastructure with our facility. So the PDUs are tied into our panels, and our panels are what's being monitored, not so much the PDU. So we can turn off banks at a time. And we're saving a little bit of money doing it that way. But as we progress and we go to do bigger and bigger things, we'll definitely share our insight with the PDUs with you guys. I mean, the ones from China, I tore apart and rewired just to kind of get a better feel of how they were doing it and how they were wiring it. A lot of these PDUs from ADP or that you're seeing in some of the containers, it's hot neutral ground. So yeah, they're putting a lot of voltage through one side of the plug. Not super fond of that, but it works, and the miners take it. You just have to account for it as you're setting those up. But that's a rant for another day.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest struggles when it comes to mining is that people just they don't realize, right? Or they just blatantly are ignorant about it. Is heat control, air control. Like it's a huge mess once you start to get, past just a couple miners. And someone who lives in a climate where, 3-4 months out of the year it's 115 degrees, like that is a big factor. You need to eliminate heat immediately because you just can't dump air conditioning on them. It's just not worth it. It's just a headache and real waste of energy in itself. So it brings a good thing here where Gandalf is saying, just got his what's miner, hooked it up with it to my HVAC last weekend with an 8-inch ducting and working pretty sweet. So he's eliminating the air and putting it into his home system, which I don't know, John, we need to figure something out. I already said this in the past, like, dude, when it comes wintertime, all of these at-home miners are like finding a way to heat their house with Bitcoin. And so
Well,
we
I can
need
add. I mean, I can add a little, 6-inch duct housing for for the little box miner fan housings if you want, and plumb that right into your HVAC system.
yeah.
But
Yeah, and so I've seen people like put all their crap in a grow tent and they just suck the air out of that and put it into their HVAC system or like just all these different things that I've seen. It's just a lot. Who was I talking to? I don't know. I was talking to one of the YouTubers just recently, and he's having an issue controlling 90 degrees in his basement. And I'm like, dude, it's wintertime. Why is your basement 90 degrees? Like you gotta get the air in and out of there, man. And so he's struggling with it. There's a lot. Yes, please. Yeah, Gandalf. He said, I'll send you some pictures later. Yes, please do that. I want to see your setup. I always like seeing everybody's setup and how they're doing it. Let me know if you don't want to share it or anything like that. But yeah, I always love seeing how people are doing different setup, different things to get, to eliminate their heat or get fresh air into it. That's a big factor too, is just getting fresh air into where your rigs are at also.
yeah, I mean, I did last winter. I used a couple miners to heat my house. Put them in my laundry room, just near the intake for my HVAC system, and it was able to, relatively keep my house warmer than what I'm doing now with paying for gas. The next thing, I mean, I just thought about this. Depending on where you are and what part of the country you're in, a lot of the older houses have fireplaces. If you were to put a couple miners in a fireplace with the flue open and some insulating foam, you could pull the air down through the fireplace and heat your house that way.
Oh, that's a good.
Just a thought.
Yeah, just a thought. Just a thought. I don't have ducting, so I have an old S5. Oh man, dude, you have the floorboard heater that literally did. And you know what? Bitmain needs to refurbish that machine. Like they need to come with a new iteration of it. Like a Bitcoin mining baseboard. You know how gangbusters that would be especially for people that like have cabins and shit like that, like out in the yonders of the backcountry and shit.
I gotta find a picture of one because
Yeah,
it's an old machine. I don't think everybody knows what it looks like.
it literally it kind of looks like it doesn't look like a baseboard, but when you look at it, you're like, oh, that's a baseboard. That's a baseboard heater. That's kind of what it looks like. So you said that The R4 is the heater look like. No, I thought it was the S5, or maybe it's both of them. I don't know. The older machines, you got to go look out for them. So you need
there's
new
a couple
fan.
different variations of it.
He says he needs new fans. What size are they? So I guess that would be sounds like a hair dryer. So it's not that loud then, right?
So here's the S5, a couple versions of it. It was before Antminer really started diving deeper into fluid dynamics and how airflow worked through machines.
Yeah.
So it was, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Sloth, but they're tin housings, correct? They're not aluminum, and they're really tight to the control boards, the hash boards themselves. So the one I have pulled up here, the big one, this is almost like a server mounted S5 Plus, build out, but the cases themselves were lacking, for other, lack of better words, real thin, not a lot of thermal gapping between the case and the hash boards.
Well, it does kind of look like they were thinking of air control. If you look at the one that you have currently pulled up, because the heat sinks are facing each other, and then it looks like their thought mentality was to just push the air through, like, just through one side through the heat sinks. Which, yeah, I guess that's okay.
And look, it's a BeagleBone, control board.
I think that's one of their biggest flaws, dude, is that they got rid of that BeagleBone. Like, they should have just stuck with it. Which, I mean, constraints, there's, chip shortage, all that fun talk. I think the S19s are really suffering because they don't have just a uniform control board like all the other machines.
Fun little machine.
Yeah. So they probably better serve to replace the PSU. What I found on PSUs, especially if you're looking for something that's a little quieter, Parallel Miner makes a very good product. Their pricing's pretty decent. I would recommend their server PSUs because they refurbish them, and their intention in refurbishing them is to make them quieter. But then you can always just replace the fan. Noctua makes a decent fan. If you wanted to do one of the APW3s or APW7s, you can take the fan out of that and replace it with a Noctua fan 3-pin, and that'll quiet that one down. There's a lot of different aftermarket things that you can do to some of these PSUs to keep them quiet.
Or just make them more efficient and safer by using veteran miners cables.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. We get no commission off that whatsoever.
Yeah, we actually just got a bunch of his cables in here. I'm going to be doing potentially a PSU and cable swap on our X5. We had talked about it in previous live streams, and I've done some teardown videos on the X5, X6, Gold Shell X6. Like I said, it's got a lot more potential now that I have some decent cables that I can run to the machine and a larger power supply. We're really going to push this thing to the limit and see what we can do.
Yeah.
So looks like the markets are starting here. Why am I reading it? I can put it up on the screen.
Yep. Looks like the markets are starting to price in some of the hawkishness before the meeting this afternoon. Yeah, the markets have been kind of weird today. I have literally, other than whatever I'm hodling, I've just stayed out of it. I don't like to really correlate either any of the stuff that I have crypto-wise with fiat. So I could care less if it's up or down, honestly. What about his other comment, though? It's my only problem now is one BTC ASIC isn't enough to fully heat my house, and I'm still waiting on my power upgrade. I could be heating with GPUs too. It's never enough, dude.
Yeah, get the bug. I want to buy
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, it's never enough. It's never enough. My wife hates our garage because it's just so loud. And I've even because I have I'm mining in my garage at home with all the GPUs that I accumulated during the bull run. And I have them all in server cases, again, controlling airflow in and out, and she hates the droning sound of the server cases. So I've been contemplating. I'm like, do I pull the trigger and get those 3,000 Noctuas, and all you hear is literally nothing in the garage, or I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's like, too much. If Noctua could give me like a bulk discount to where I could pay like maybe like $5 a fan, that'd be awesome. But it's just too much money I have too many server cases in the garage to want to update all the fans in there. It'd just be nuts.
Yeah, even with a reseller's license, and we do manufacturing direct, they're still expensive at that point. Even for us.
Yeah. But I mean, you're paying for quality. Noctua literally is quality. Like I have a Noctua in the computer that we're streaming on right now. And if I can put a Noctua somewhere, I definitely would. If it's part of the budget of the build or anything like that. The only problem I have with Noctuas is that they just don't like Hive. They hate.
What's up?
They hate Hive. They hate Hive for whatever reason. Always tripping up in Hive, and it's so annoying.
I'll start 3D printing some fan blades for try. I mean, this is stuff I do in my spare time, stuff I'm interested in. But I think MIT just came out with a new blade design for drones that reduces the cavitation at the tips of the blades. It's a pretty wild looking blade setup. It's round. It's got 3 interlocking blades that loop back to itself.
Yeah.
It's supposed to reduce noise and reduce cavitation, which is pulling in air that shouldn't be pulled in and swirling it and offsetting the flow. Now that we have a 3D printer, I might have to print some of those and see how they run on, say, like an L3 or something.
So Ben here says Fantech T30s are way better. According to Amazon, they're the same price. But I am curious because Amazon says they are 0 decibels. That doesn't make any sense. But I am always down to country of origin, China. Okay, I get this. How many? Like, I can't see how many. Oh, here we are. I'm looking for like the RPMs. Advanced mode, max speed, 3,000 plus or minus 150. Yeah, 39 decibels. Okay, so that was just Amazon, not with the correct information. So you can buy triple for $85 directly from Fantech. I guess I should. Can I share this? Should I share this?
Sure. Go for it. Why not?
Yeah, right. Share Fantechs. All right, let's go up. Fantech. This guy. I'll have to give these a try. I don't know though. That Noctua brown has really grown on me. I used to hate it. It looks so ugly, but I like these super black ones though. Yeah, I have to check these out.
It looks like a YouTuber already beat me to the punch in terms of MIT's fan design.
Uh-oh.
What happened to our stream? That's the stream. There we go. Yeah, so it's the blades return back to themselves, so you don't have as much drag. I'll have to watch that video afterwards, but I mean, it looks promising on the stuff that I read from MIT. and the results that they were getting for the drones. But if we can get more force out of it, maybe beneficial noise wise and airflow wise for an
Yeah.
ASIC, why not? I don't know. like I in the spare time that I don't have, right? I'll figure something.
Yeah. Thanks for stopping by, Chain Critical. This isn't hardware advice, but it's hardware advice. Exactly. That's gonna be the name of that video too. I'm gonna clip that one out. This isn't hardware advice, but it is hardware advice. So, well, got a couple last things that we wanted to chat about, or at least I did. This is basically going to be an open rant because I'm kind of actually really upset about it. Well, not upset, but it's like glaringly annoying. So I would say about midweek last week, or maybe the week before, 4 gigabyte graphics cards could no longer mine Ravencoin. And it was very glaringly apparent. Team Redminer or AMD in general, AMD 4 gigabyte cards, they fell off the network. Really wasn't figuring out why, because there's still 4 gigabytes. The DAG size of Ravencoin is roughly about 3.75 right now. Seemed like there was some fluff in there that was tripping up 4 gigabyte cards, and literally no one was talking about it. I saw a couple posts on Twitter and them saying that 4 gigabyte cards you can't mine Ravencoin with them anymore. Now what? So on and so forth. And then lo and behold, Team Redminer comes around and says, hey, we figured out whatever it is, and 4 gigabyte cards can now mine Ravencoin up to Epoch 369, which is roughly about April at this point. So April 2023, if anybody's watching this in the future. And literally no YouTuber at all put anything out. Like, I know there's a lot of hate on GPU mining with Ravencoin, and like, you're either a fanboy of Ravencoin, you like it, or you don't. But the fact that it was just blatantly ignored by all of YouTube was like, what the like seriously, I was very frustrated in seeing the lack of support on it, honestly. It should have been talked about a little bit more, because I can only imagine somebody's actually like mining Ravencoin, and if some people, they just they plug and play and then they forget about it and then turn around, and all of a sudden the rigs probably are mining right back again. Well, no, they would have had to do an update to get it to mine again. So I don't know, it's just weird in watching this. Let's see, here we go. Ben, he's running 1.5 gigahash on Raven currently. Yeah, see, there we go. Man, no, I was just frustrated. It's like, dude, Team Redminer stepped up and he got these cards back on chain, and so it's like, somebody needs to talk about it, because I'm sure people are struggling in figuring out why their 4 gigabyte cards weren't mining or are still not mining Ravencoin if they haven't done the update, and they're pushing on to another project, which is great for the time being. When I was trying to figure out what the heck was going on, I threw the cards on Caspa, but then come back, turn around, put it right back on Ravencoin once it was able to mine again onto Ravencoin. It's just crazy. And then you have other YouTubers like the hobbyists, like they're putting their 580s on Caspa now, and they're finding ways to tune and fine tune it. And I think that'll probably be the direction we go once you cannot mine Ravencoin. But the whole point is I have one or two, right? Yeah, 2 4 gigabyte rigs where they were solely meant to mine Ravencoin. We even at the mine we bought a whole bunch of freaking R9s so we can mine Ravencoin.
Crazy. I mean, the difficulty, we're already seeing difficulty increasing on Caspa, and we're solo mining that. So,
yep, it looks like we're gonna have to. We have just about 12 gigahash, give or take the fluctuation on the tune, and we're mining like a block a day. And it's like, man, that's
we're doing much better.
we were doing like 3, 4, 5 blocks a day, less than a week ago. So it's like, dude, come on.
But
Like, just give us.
that's a good telling sign as well. When the difficulty increases, that means the network is becoming stronger. So usually when the network increases and the difficulty increases, price is not far behind, or vice versa. So it's a good indicator for Caspa, in my opinion. Even though it sucks for us, we're not mining as much anymore. It's still a good indication.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of 5700s. So what are you getting them for right now, Ben? Because I'm finding them like in the range of like 150, 200 local to me. And I think that that's a decent deal. And I think we're going to probably go the same ways. Because with the 5700s, you're probably like, what, 25, 30 mega hash, depending on how you do your overclocks. And you literally, I think, what, like maybe 100 watts or something? 150 on nerd gears. No way. With taxes, without taxes? I have to check that out.
Now you get Mark all excited.
I know, right?
There goes our rainy day fund from Coastal.
Yeah.
Nice going, Ben.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot.
No,
Guess I'll spend my money. Oh, damn, dude. They're the fucking Asus ones, too. Shut the front door.
Oh, those 6 will be gone in a few hours.
Sorry, bro. You Oh, did they? They posted 6 different ones this morning? All right. Yeah, we'll have to check it out.
So wrapping things up as we're getting towards the end of the stream here. Updates for CCMT. Let's pull up the site. Still looks the same. We're still working on it. Took a little bit of a step back from the site appearance because we're implementing other changes and we're doing testing for that, which we felt was more important.
I mean, we're all me, you, and the dev are all in agreement of what the changes need to be. So I think that we should be okay to disclose, right?
Yeah, we're fine disclosing it. So let me pull up the roadmap, because I think we talked about it on the roadmap as well.
Yeah. So while John's clicking the buttons here, changes that we're going to be doing. So the main contract for the utility is in progress, for the exception of we are changing the contract in itself from V2, which is just a contract evolution, to V3. Again, with Ethereum and Polygon, the solidity has changed, which is where you're coding these contracts in, and there's just different iterations. So version 1, 2, 3. We are changing the contract from version 2 to version 3. In doing that, we are going to be correcting an error that we made when we first launched the project, which is the amount of tokens that will be available. So just a heads up, price discovery is not changing, like in utilities not changing for what the project's meant for. However, we are going to take the allotted supply from 42,069,000,000 to 42,069,000, right? Is that right?
Yes, somewhere in that range. I mean, we'll put the numbers up for the community to vote on. There will be, we're thinking about doing it a couple different ways. There's not a whole lot of wallet holders out there right now, so all the new version 3 will be airdropped to anybody that's holding version 2 right now. So you guys won't have to do anything except for add the new
amounts won't. The amounts won't change, and you guys will have all the same thing. The only thing that is changing is the amount that's going to be available to everyone, just so we can make that correction right off the bat. Again, we're still not really advertising. We do have one video in the Asian market right now for CCM. But again, that YouTuber is not like, millions of followers or anything like that. So we're not really doing any of the marketing, because we plan on doing that near the end of the year. Once the actual utility is in place and we have some of you guys as guinea pigs working with us in troubleshooting how CCM utility works. But we are making these changes right off the bat. So the code for the utility is just about done, but we want to drop this V3 and integrate that in with the utility contract. So again, we're still Q1 for utility contract, but we want to make sure that we headway this V3. Yeah, we just want to make sure that we have V3 in place. Reasons for moving from V2 to V3. Companies like CoinGecko do not monitor QuickSwap V2 since QuickSwap also has already integrated V3. Uniswap has V3. Just a couple of the other decentralized DEXs. They're all
Uniswap, yep.
They're all utilizing V3 at this point. PancakeSwap as BNB, but not Polygon. Which, no, I'm not going to say. I was gonna, but
this opens the doors. I mean, this is something that we've talked about from day one, was migrating from V2 to V3. The reason we're doing it now, one, because not PancakeSwap, but CoinGecko is pushing for it. It will make the launching of our utilities a little bit easier on our dev, we hope, along with some of the bridge payouts that we're looking to do in the future. So we're trying to make things not just easier on us, but easier on you guys. We could stay with V2 and do everything on V2, which is not an issue. We're just trying to make this a little bit more future friendly as we progress. And so we get towards the final launch of CCMT, and it's out there for everybody.
Yeah.
But again, we'll put the poll out there for the community, either on a YouTube channel, on Twitter, on the actual site. We'll let you guys know when it's happening, what to prepare for. I'll put out some videos on how to make sure your airdrop shows up in your wallets. You'll get the airdrop regardless. It's still going to the Polygon network. So it's still the same address. It'll just be on a different version. So the contract will be changing slightly. But the coins will be waiting for you there as soon as you update the contract on whatever wallet you're using, Exodus, Trust, MetaMask, whatever. So very, very little for you guys to do. We're trying to make this as seamless and easy as possible.
Awesome.
Okay, open up the floor. Questions, answers. What you guys got?
Oh, yeah.
Let us have it. Throw it at us.
Oh, Ben got me distracted with Nerd Gears.
Oh, is that what you're doing over there? You're hunting down 5700s now?
Mm-hmm.
That money needs to pay bills, Mark.
Yeah. The 150 ones are power colors, though. I'm a pass. I don't like that they advertise $149.95 for the 57 Asus Tough, and then I go click on it and it's $169.95. Oh, I see. Nope. D's out of stock. B is there. A is out of stock. What is B?
So now Mark's going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if the questions, if we're done, okay. I just got 4 on eBay, 130 a pop. Dude, no way. Look at this. Holy crap, dude. So I got 4 off eBay for 130. That's a really good deal, honestly. Dude, and think about it, like 5700s, in my opinion, are going to be the 580s of the next bull run. Like, there's just going to be a plethora amount of them on the network. I think the 580s will still be there because they're just, true and tried. A lot of the OGs have them. They're still on. If you go to Hive's statistics, 580s are still on the whatchamacallit. They're on ETC right now. So Ben said he did. D is good. Ordered 20 of them. 20 20 of them. I'm going to need your credit card, Ben.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah,
I don't know
Corey,
if
I'm a huge fan of Sapphire. On the 580 version, dude, the blue SEs, those are I have a soft spot for those, but yeah. Do I use MMPOS? MMPOS. I don't know what that is, so no. I do have a BIOS mod for it. I think if that's where you're going with that. I adjust the timing on the 5700s. But MMPOS, I don't know what that is. Be more specific. Now I have to look it up. Thanks.
So heads up to anybody who's ordered from us in the past month. Now that it's February 1st, a lot of our Chinese, Malaysia suppliers, they just went through their Lunar New Year. So they shut down everything for a month. As orders start to roll in the next week or two that have been stopped because, the whole country stops, right? So now that the Lunar New Year has ended or coming to an end, we should be getting more stuff shipped in. We did just get out an order for Hawk Mining. So if you're in the chat, Hawk, or you're watching this later, or if you want to relay the message, New England, his shipment just went out. He should have it in like 3 to 4 days for his order. And like I said, as things come in, I get them out as fast as I possibly can. The new in-box stuff, I don't typically test. I do inspect the box, make sure nothing's wrong with it. But the used stuff, I do inspect thoroughly before we ship it out. But we'll get them out to you guys as soon as we possibly can. That's our goal. The first of the year is tough for ordering crypto stuff because a lot of it comes from China, and they, that Lunar New Year everything grinds to a halt.
Yeah, seriously, and you could tell, especially if you watch the market, like they're not being influenced by more machines coming online because the market goes up for a couple weeks while everybody's in the new year. Everybody's celebrating the Lunar New Year and trying to prosper financially, and then all of a sudden the business gets back to usual, and more miners are coming online. You cash out, there's more selling pressure, and you start to see things go in the opposite direction they did during the Lunar New Year.
Yeah.
So is that off to track down UPS? Yeah, go get it.
All right,
here's
guys.
a good question.
Oh,
I know you're trying to wind it down.
No,
besides the 5700, what's the next best? In my opinion, AMD wise, be on the hunt for 6700s, dude. They mine Caspa like no other. They are super efficient on Caspa. 6700 XT is just a beast. You can literally overclock that thing, and at some point it'll trip up, but in most cases it's just balls to the wall. I like it a lot. 6700 is definitely one that I would be accumulating also at the current time. NVIDIA side, 3070 Ti, I think would probably be the one. We have a few 3080 Ti's at the mine, which those mining wise, those are beasts. But I would stay away from the 40 series altogether. They're just, in my opinion, I don't know if they need to do some type of update, but just power wise, it's just not worth it. Just stay with the 30 series cards. 3070 Ti definitely would be one to keep an eye on with it, comparable to 6700 in some ways, shapes, and forms.
Right on. Mark does the GPU crap. I play with it a little bit, but that's all Mark's wheelhouse. Yeah, appreciate you guys. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, share out the video, share out the channel. We're trying to grow the channel. I would love to do a giveaway at some point. I mean, we've done giveaways for other people's channels. We'd like to do one for our own. So let us know what kind of giveaways you guys are interested in, whether it be a miner or merch or coins or whatever it may be. Share the video, share the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. The notification bell always helps because we do this at random times. We don't know when we go live. We just do it. But you can always ask us questions. Mark will do his best to chop up this live stream. So if you missed any highlights or you want to come back to certain sections, we'll get that out in the next couple of days. And Discord, Twitter, always open to you guys. If you're looking for anything specific or you need help with any equipment, we'll do our best to help you. So until next time, guys, take it easy. Appreciate you, and have a good one.